Okay, everybody, we've just had some fun at the NRB, National Religious Broadcasters. Everybody shows up, and we saw Jonathan's sister and Shannon Kelly.
Hey, Shannon, are you the tracker guy?
Hi.
Not really a second. Tracker
How are you?
How are you?
Give me a hug, buddy. It's good to see you.
How are you?
I'm glad you're okay, man.
Okay.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Pastor Leach.
So this is
It's good to put a
the
face with a
man.
person.
so this is the guy that put a tracker in my
So
car.
that's the one with the tracker.
Yep.
How are you doing?
Showed up at my house in the bulletproof vest and the gun.
That's amazing.
That's called
Mr.
uniform.
Shannon Kelly.
That's amazing.
So we have a plain clothes and we have
Talk
uniforms.
to everyone but
Wow.
me.
That's a
You
uniform.
never reached out to me. I would love it. Want to come on the show? I definitely don't want to.
Sir, we wear those at work.
I would appreciate
There's our
it if you went
standard
and
security
filmed.
uniform.
We're gonna film. Okay, that's the truth, right? Yeah.
Probably the
I
reference
would
consent
love to
straight.
talk to you. Yeah.
Well, if y'all have any questions, please come up. You'll see our actual uniforms. It's nowhere near the fable that has been told. But that's all right.
Yeah. All right.
You'll give me a chance. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what did you say to Shannon?
I said, "How's the tracker business going, Shannon?" And he kind of shrugged it off, laughed it off. But
Right.
But we saw an interesting side of Shannon Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was very interesting. Me and my brother Rock Leach, we've been on this or whatnot, and he decided to be funny and call me Rock Leach.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's probably nice to meet you in person. Been following you for quite some time now.
Okay, well I'm not Rock, but okay.
Am I Leach?
No,
Which
I'm
one
not-
are you?
I'm not Leach. Well, if you don't know who I am, it don't
I'll
really
find you because I
matter.
got two or three and we actually look very similar.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
at least it wasn't condescending.
It's not condescending at all. So, buddy, it's nice to meet you.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
encouraging. Oh, yeah. Leach was on there with you.
Yeah, Leach was on
Gotcha.
there.
Okay. Cool. Buddy, it's good to see you. Pleasure to meet you. Sarah, you have a good day. Take it easy, man.
And where's Steve? He said, "Oh, yeah, hey, hi, you Rock?" I said, "Well, I'm not Rock, but yeah, I've been on it." And he said, "Well, who are you then?" I said, "Well, if you don't know my name, then don't worry about it." But really, he was being funny because that's him. That's him. But that's all right, Shannon.
Yeah.
We know that tracker business must be doing all right.
And I asked him, I said, why are you doing what you were doing? And he goes, oh, it's just my job. I'm just, just doing my job at the place. And then he started filming as well. And Rachel and I had a discussion. And I said, Rachel, woman to woman, what are you thinking about, like, your husband? There's allegations. Why are you not handling this better? And she said, oh, well, you never come to me. And I said, I'd love to have you on the show. Will you come on the show? She said, no, I won't come on the show. And I said, well, like, we're all willing to be honest and open, right? We got to have
Right.
honesty and openness. And how did you experience it, Jonathan, with seeing your sister? Probably first time in a long time, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of surreal. I mean, obviously, just pray that she is convicted by the Holy Spirit to
Yeah.
actually do the right thing.
Right.
And to not be afraid.
Yeah.
you know?
Here's the thing. Rachel tells me, I said, there's a letter. JW and Rebecca know that something is up with your husband. Like, what are you thinking? And then she says, there's no letter. And so I called Jonathan over and I said, Jonathan, do you remember the letter that you read? And you did?
Yep. Yeah, Jonathan Weiss. Yeah, he showed it to me. He read it out loud to me. Very passionate letter about his concerns about Pete. And I'll never forget how he was right there with us, ready to fight and stand by us. And again, I just pray for him that he's convicted to have the bravery that he needs to have.
And so I said also Miss Denise Boggs has that letter, and she was given that letter. And so I don't know why Rachel is under the impression that there was no letter when there's a letter.
Yeah.
So all of this, it doesn't make sense when you come face to face.
Right.
There's all this denial. And then Rachel said, I got all this stuff. And I said, on what? What do you got? On Jonathan and Susie. Like what? Texts and emails? What are you talking about? I got all this stuff. All this stuff.
There's nothing. And obviously we'd be happy if she would publish whatever
Publish
she
it.
says she has. We'd love for her to publish it. So.
Yeah. See,
Right.
this is the new thing, right, Pastor
Yeah,
Ray?
absolutely.
Like, she wanted the camera shut down,
Right.
and we're like, well, you know, and you were very nice. You were respectful.
Absolutely.
And then Everett came up, Ohio for Freedom, and he says, no. And it's like, we do things on camera because the cameras don't lie. You can't go and say such and such and then change your mind, change your story. We just want the story. We're not here to harm anybody. We're here to get the truth. And it was interesting meeting Rachel. And, you know, I got to look in her eyes. I think I saw some pain in there, actually.
And in honesty, it's just like any bully. When you're on your grounds, you're bold, you're big, you're bad. But then when you confront it, you're caught off guard, all of a sudden you're innocent and you're backing up and you feel pressured into a corner. That's how a
Yes.
bully works.
Yes.
And you can't let Shannon Kelly, you just got to call it out. Really, really arrogant.
Yeah.
And I asked him about, are you the fellow that had the bulletproof vest and the gun and put that notice on Jonathan's door? Well, we always do that.
It's
If you
a
can come-
uniform.
okay, then why did Joni say she knew nothing about it if it's such a universal practice?
Right.
Well, anyway, we really saw, unfortunately, who Shannon Kelly really is.
You're right. I forgot about that. Good point. So Joni said, oh, no, with a gun? No one would
Right.
deliver. But they got the camera at the door
Yep.
that shows what he was wearing and how he showed up. So is that his idea of intimidation? I don't know. I mean, you've been tried to intimidate Jonathan. You've had people outside your house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Daystar Mafia, as we say.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately it's real, but again, we're not afraid.
Yeah.
We're going to continue to speak the truth, and the truth is on our side. So.
The truth is on our side, and everywhere we go, people are stopping Jonathan. They're stopping the Unction in Ohio, myself. They're like, oh, you guys, we're with you. God bless you. We stand with you. Keep on standing. And they just love you, Jonathan. And so many famous names,
Yeah.
you know.
It's been incredible just walking around the floors. There's been countless people that have been so encouraging, talking about how they're praying for us, and we've been watching the broadcast. So
Yeah.
it's been really great to see.
People are calling it a revolution. And I
Yeah.
said, well, it's a revolution or a reformation.
Yeah.
See, this is what's happening. What do you think's going on in the church for real?
There is a complete upheaval on the power systems as we know it. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like on the other side, but I am convinced it's going to look a whole lot more genuine.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot more extremely important small players, and the big icons, they're falling down.
Yes.
And they need to.
Yes. How do you see it, Pastor Ray?
I see it that God is allowing truth to be interjected in a ecosystem that was closed at one time, and now by other voices being able to, and people are going to be able to see the difference between the genuine and the facade.
Yes.
So I thank God for what's happening.
I just want JT, if you lift that camera up and you just kind of look at how big this place is. Look how many people are here. We can even get some B-roll. Like, this is where everyone gathers. This is all of the mega leaders, the mega churches, the mega ministries. This is where everyone is. And there's a lot of things that are going to be changing in this whole dynamic. So we're getting some people kind of look at us and then maybe they don't know exactly who we are. I can see how someone would think that you were that great guy, Brother Rock Leach, but this is Pastor Ray from the Unction, and you should know because he's hitting a lot of, both of these guys and myself, a lot of YouTube looks. People, they're just walking up to us like, keep going, this is a reformation. This, in the past, no one could talk. Nobody had, I don't know, is the word jurisdiction there? But now, because we are in Christ and we have the freedom and we are children of the living God, we will expose evil works of darkness, and we don't need anyone's approval for that. We just want evil to be brought down, SA to stop in the church,
Yes.
cover up to stop in the church, justice for baby lamb, justice for baby lamb. It is not happening. And when I saw Rachel, I said, woman to woman, Rachel, what are you doing with what's going on here? Pete, needs to get some real, well, he can go turn himself in, have a little chat, exonerate himself. That hasn't happened. That hasn't happened.
Right.
We got a problem. Any final closing words?
Oh no, nothing but
I do have a closing word. Nobody is anything. It's all God. And if anybody is part, there's a lot of good stuff here, I'm sure, but there's a lot of icon stuff that is here. And if I think a test of if you're real, why don't you do a deep dive look inside, see if you have hurt anybody, see if you have any victims. And if you have victims, step forward and do everything you can to make it right. Don't hire attorneys. Don't try to hurt them. Don't hire private investigators to follow them around. If you've hurt somebody, make it right.
that's right.
Well, it's been good to be with you all, and it's good to stand with Jonathan. People love him. People love the unction. They're recognizing him first thing. They're recognizing Ohio. This is really cool to see what God is doing. And so God bless everyone. We'll talk to you soon. We're going to keep walking through the floor.
Well, it
All
could
right,
have been a
God
perfect
bless.
ending to a perfect day, but as we were walking out, Rachel Lamb Brown and Shannon Kelly were standing to the side, and I thought I would just let Rachel know that if indeed she wanted to speak with me off camera, like she said she did, that I would be willing to do that. And so I approached her gently and just let her know that, to which Shannon Kelly then was the complete opposite of what we had seen beforehand. There was no hugs, there was just anger being hurled at me, and all of a sudden, 2 security guards stepped in.
So we're going to be professional and polite and Christian. Okay, what she did just now, okay? Thank you.
It'll all come out.
You good? Yeah, and not much water. There we go.
Oh, is this a coffee?
In an unbelievable move, in spite of the fact that it was myself and Rachel that were having a discussion, and it was me telling Shannon Kelly that he's basically not the boss of the world just because he knows how to deliver papers with a gun to somebody's home and put trackers on their car. In any case, I digress. The security guards of NRB came and took our brother, Pastor Ray Curry, from the Unction, and they let him know that he would need to be escorted out. And that put all of us in a very bad way.
They're literally picking on Unction and making him leave. When Rachel came up to me earlier, I was just saying, Rachel, if you want to talk privately, you let me know. He didn't even do it. He did. What are you walking him on? Honestly.
No, you don't have to answer
We
that.
just appreciate you not talking to people like that. That's all we're asking. Don't be rude to us and don't be rude to others. That's all we're asking.
No, I don't think anyone wants to be rude to us either.
No, everybody was very polite.
And I'm very polite too.
That's it.
why
We
I say
appreciate
you
it,
did
Ray.
your job
We
and
appreciate it.
keep
You guys
moving.
have a good rest of the day.
And we're going back in.
Y'all go back in.
No, we're
Y'all,
going with him.
No,
Like-
y'all go back in. Y'all
He's
go.
out for today.
No, y'all good. Y'all good.
He was telling us to move along. So we're security.
Well, I say
we were
y'all can
talking
keep
to
it
him.
moving.
And he told us to
And
keep
those
it
were my
moving.
words. I said y'all
So
keep it
if you want to
moving.
be
But that's cool.
disrespectful, not
That's
polite,
cool. Out of this group, I'll be the one out here.
Oh, except we both heard it.
I said they could keep it moving.
We're not.
So after security told Pastor Ray Curry that he couldn't go back into the NRB for absolutely no good reason at all, we were standing there, and amazingly, the president and CEO of the NRB, Troy Miller, was walking by. I remembered him because I had spoken to him last NRB after he did a great introduction to the President of the United States, Donald Trump. And so I approached him and I let him know that there had been a real problem and that something terrible had happened, and the Unction, Pastor Ray Curry, had been asked to leave when in fact he'd done absolutely nothing wrong.
She was walking up to me. I said, "You see me?" And I got to get out.
While I'm speaking with Mr. Miller, the security guy approaches us and they go off to have a little chit-chat, which took a few minutes.
So he's talking to them, and I said he didn't do nothing. Like, this is so wrong that he came out. I said I was talking to Rachel because Rachel wanted to talk to me privately, and I was just letting her know that I would have a chat with her anytime. Right? But now Rachel and them's demeanor, they're all like, oh yeah, they're ramping it up too, right? So I said, no, look, I said, this is a man of God.
It's just like comprehensive bail.
But the good news is that Troy Miller understood the situation, was very kind, and came back to talk to us.
You were so good when you introduced Trump. I just want to say I saw that last time.
But look, we want, we're all people, and sometimes we get emotional, especially, I don't know the whole situation, what's going on, I'm a little bit in the news, but I don't know everything, right? But let's just let comprehensive prevail, and I don't know, if it's related, so I'm not saying you guys are moving the property or anything, okay? So, but let's just separate down the hall today, stay confidential,
Mr. Miller realized that sometimes there are high emotions due to a specific situation going on, and he basically gave us a lot of grace and asked everyone to be on their best behavior, which of course we believed that we were. And he let Unction back in for the day. We closed with a prayer.
Folks, we're going to tell you a story that it's going to be hard to believe, but it really happened. You have, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word is confirmed, and this really, really happened. Obviously, this is Laura-Lynn, this is Pastor Ray, this is Everett Ohio for Freedom. So yesterday, we are on the convention floor at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. And we had the opportunity to be gracious and nice.
Yep.
And so we wanted to say hi to Shannon Kelly, who's head of security at Daystar.
Nicest guy, like keeps everyone safe at Daystar, puts trackers on their car. Right. It doesn't matter if the president doesn't know, right. But we just want to honor that, yeah.
And he was guarding, doing his job, guarding Rachel Lamb Brown.
Yeah.
So we went up to say hello, and Jonathan was with us, correct? Okay. I want to get the story right. I think I was the first to greet Shannon and said, how's the tracker business going? And then we talked just a little bit, and then...
Oh, yeah. Then Shannon decided to greet me, but not as me. He's been watching us. He knows who the Unction is, obviously, but he wanted to greet me as Rock Leach because, they all look alike, so...
And it's shocking to me. So he's watching Rock Leach and the Unction. I mean, wow. Does Jerry know? I don't know.
And like I told him, I said, you know what? Don't worry about me. If you can't figure out my name, you'll figure out my name later. Don't even worry about it. And I just went on, tried to keep it going.
And folks, that actually really, really happened.
It did. And then Rachel came up.
Yes.
Rachel came up to me. I was just going to stand there, watch the brothers. And Rachel comes up and she says, you know, why do you talk about me but you don't talk to me? I said, awesome, Rachel, I'd like to talk to you. Do you want to come on the show? Give your side, talk about how you're feeling through all of this. I'd be happy to talk to you. And she says, oh, no, you know, we can't do that. We got video of that.
Yep.
And maybe you've already seen it. I'm not sure. But then she wanted to talk away from the cameras, and she kind of pulled me. She wanted to speak to me off camera. I said, sure. So I walk on over there. And, you know, I said, listen, there's a problem because there's a letter that was written by JW and Rebecca. And in this letter, it talks about the very strong feelings that JW had regarding Pete. And I said, this is an important. Then now Rachel shocked me at this morning. This is shocking. She says, there's no letter. I'm like, there's a letter. Miss Denise Boggs got the letter. I've had it confirmed from Miss Denise Boggs and Jonathan. So Rachel is now telling me there's no letter. It's all lies. Okay, I know there's a letter. I called Jonathan. Well, we have a witness to the letter right here. I called Jonathan over. Jonathan just says to Rachel, I mean, here's brother and sister, haven't talked for a long time, been a real tough family situation, but he says, he looks her in the eye. Jonathan says, you know how Jonathan is, nice as possible. Jonathan says that JW read this letter to him. It was an impassioned letter regarding Pete, and there is a letter. So Rachel's not in, she's just not in reality of the facts.
In total denial.
In total denial. And maybe we would all be there. Like, I guess we can cut her some grace in that if someone's accusing, you know, our spouse, we don't want to believe it, despite the facts, despite the family, you know, being on the same page as Jonathan, until they might have to leave the family fortune. But, you know, that's where she's at. So that was it. And we kind of all said goodbye.
Yeah.
You know?
One more detail in that transaction. That's when Shannon pulled out his camera.
Oh,
exactly.
And he pulled out his camera and he was recording.
He was filming us.
It was him.
I didn't have a camera.
So me,
I never did. I never had a camera.
So me, I'm defensive, you know, in the situation now, because you already doing the condescending stuff, the real funny, slick stuff. So I see a camera come out and I say, okay, well, if we're filming, I'm going to film too. That's when Rachel says, oh, we don't want cameras. Now, when his camera was out, cameras was okay.
Yeah.
But when our camera comes out, we don't want any cameras. And then I said, if he put his away, I'll put mine away. And then we did. And then they got to the end of this thing, and eventually we could move on.
Another detail, guys, is that Shannon, Kelly, and Rachel were just sweet as pie the first time, because we got a second time. So they are sweet, like, oh, brothers, you know, they want to hug and just be all nice, like nothing in the world is wrong. Like nothing's wrong. Like if he's been watching you and you know, Pastor Rock, he's been seeing that we know what he did. He's the tracker guy, you know, and apparently, like we've heard from someone else here, that here's a scoop that Shannon Kelly was trying to tell Rachel to stop posting all her pictures, you know, like gaslight, like just be careful, because there's serious credible allegations. There's a serious police investigation into Pete.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it really a good idea? You're all over the place and just, you know, this has been a very painful thing for Jonathan and Susie. So they're all nice. What I'm saying is they're all nice. Second time we meet them, and we can get there.
Well,
second time we meet them.
Tell me if I'm right. So that's kind of the end of the first exchange, because there's 3.
Yeah.
2 on one day and 1 today.
Yeah.
But in between the first and second interaction with Shannon and Rachel, we took some video.
Yeah.
All 3 of us, and Jonathan was part of that,
Yeah.
which was cool. Guess what? Jonathan can speak whether Susie's in the room or not.
Right.
This just in. But that happened.
Right.
And then a few minutes later, just walking the direction we were going, Rachel Lamb Brown and Shannon Kelly were ahead of us again, and maybe pick up right there.
So I saw Rachel. Now, what happened was when it all ended, Rachel did not want to be on camera, but she really wanted to talk to me. So when she wanted to talk to me, sorry about that. When she wanted to talk to me, I wanted to let her know in all sincerity that I would be happy to talk to her anytime off camera. That's what I wanted Rachel to know because she wanted that.
Right.
So when I walk up to her, this time Shannon Kelly, he is not Mr. Nice Guy. I think Tracker Guy came out. You know?
Yeah, Tracker
Man.
Guy.
Yeah.
Tracker man.
Yeah, Tracker Man came out, and all of a sudden he's like, "We are not doing this here." Like his voice is deep and he's being really mean. I'm like, dude, I'm just letting her know she wanted to have a conversation with me, and I'd like to have a conversation with Rachel off camera anytime. Here's my number.
Yeah.
You know, did you want my number? I even asked her that. And he is like grandstanding, you know?
Yep.
Next thing, we got the thugs. We got the NRB security coming up.
Yep.
And we're like, where'd y'all come from? Like, we're just standing here having a little, and we're about to go. Like, we are leaving. I just want Rachel to know I'd be happy to talk to her.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, well, I didn't say a word. I don't think you said a word.
No, I wasn't in this interaction.
But the other security guy with the too-tight sports coat, because that makes you look muscular, took video of you and your badge, and then me and my badge. And go ahead.
I mean, what's interesting, like I said earlier, it went from very condescending and slick with Shannon Kelly and Rachel at the beginning, you know, playing nice guy, you know, real slick stuff, to this time real belligerent.
Yeah.
You know, and they're belligerent, and Laura-Lynn is talking with Rachel. That's who's talking with Rachel. I'm sitting, you know.
You're not doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm looking around. You know, I'm just letting them interact, whatever they got to say in passing because we're going on. Security comes up, and like I said, once again, camera in his face, camera on the badge, camera in my face, camera on the badge, cameras, you know. So I'm like, whatever. And I said, all right, you got your pictures. You can keep it moving. For some reason, that enraged the security here.
Absolutely.
Now, she was the one engaging.
Yeah.
Rachel.
I was like,
Me
you know,
saying,
let's
okay,
talk.
you have your
The
pictures.
loudmouth Canadian with the blonde hair was doing all the engaging.
I should have been considered probably the big threat, but
Y'all were just talking, and we were just standing. Talking and standing can be
Brother
very...
Ray, Pastor.
I wonder
Pastor
what
Ray
it is
Curry.
about me.
Yeah. We didn't know. I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't see nothing, but all of a sudden you're being walked off.
Just me. For some reason, me saying, all right, you have my picture, we can keep it moving. That is enough.
And I'm trailing behind, and I'm going, where are we going? Because I'm just with the group, and I'm saying, wait a minute. Is he being walked out of here? And then the answer is yes.
Security says to me, you can keep it moving. You can get out of here. You're out for the rest of the day. I say, okay, well, I'm going to comply. And I just walked on out.
You walked out
I'm not giving no problems. I'm going to just walk on out. But it was unjust. And if anyone fought, it was this fighter right here. Because for me, this is silly. I don't understand your world. You people are weird.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I said to the guys who are acting so bizarre world, like as if we're thugs or something. There's a serious family issue. We're not here to make it worse. I'm here to let Rachel know that I would be so happy to talk to her. Hey, maybe that'd be good for everyone, a little wake-up call. But I'd be happy. Oh, and Rachel let us know she's got tons of evidence against Jonathan and Susie. I'm like,
bring it.
Give me the evidence. Let's put it out for display. Let's talk about what the evidence is. No, not going to do that. I guess he shared it with Marcus Rogers. We understand it to be screenshots of them being at family events together. Before Jonathan heard that Pete was not exonerated, unlike Rachel reported to Marcus and Joni, no exoneration. Nobody knew this. When Jonathan heard that was the decision, like, okay, we're back to square one because we thought there was a problem. Yeah. There's evidence of a problem. So what happens is, in between that time, they're going to family events.
Right.
They're having baby showers. They're having kids'
Trying
birthdays.
to continue on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Until they found out there was no exoneration.
So Rachel's like, we've got evidence. We're like, that we are in the evidence business.
Exactly.
We are putting our evidence out. We're there.
Let me bring this back to the events, though, just for a minute. So in the first exchange, Shannon Kelly, let's just be honest, was condescending and just blatantly racist. I said at the time, if you wrote that into a script for a show in 2025, the editors would say, we can't do that.
Right.
That's completely, it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. But folks, it happened. And then later, when he and I are just standing there minding our own business while Laura-Lynn is having a calm discussion with Rachel, then Mr. Too Tight in his undersized sport coat is, next thing you know, hauling. He didn't go after the gray-haired white guy or the blonde-haired Canadian female.
Or the Gabby girl. Yeah.
So what, and you have to wonder, is it just the racism, or were they, do you think they were baiting you perhaps?
Oh, it
Or
felt
all of us.
it felt like a situation of let's see if we can get him to be what we need him to be. It felt like a baiting, trying to get you out of your element so that we can find an excuse to ban you, which they tried today.
Joni, honey, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Pastor Ray was not the problem.
No.
And thank God, because this ended well yesterday.
Yes, it did.
And that's due to President and CEO Troy Miller.
Yeah, absolutely.
A man of God. I saw him. I recognized him. I went up to him. And when we're out in the lobby, I'm like, sir, something horrible has happened. Like, they just marched my friend out. He did nothing. Like, he did nothing. I said, you know, and I said, you know, there's a situation going on. And I said, what's it? Oh, he says, what situation? And I said, well, you know, the Daystar. And he goes, oh, the Daystar. Oh, okay. So everybody knows. Everyone in Texas, everyone in North America. Haven't you loved being greeted by? We were just sitting here, and we had people coming up, loving on us, thanking us. All through everywhere we go, they're like, we're with you, stand strong, you're doing the right thing, you know? So we are loved here. Troy Miller comes over, he understands what I'm saying, he talks to the security guys, the one with the coat that's too tight, but you know, maybe next year he'll have a new one. So comes over, and he talks to them, he says, stand down, listen. What's really happening here? He's a man of reason.
Yeah.
Comes over. We pray together.
Yep.
We all pray.
I just thank the Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
And then we're in the car on the way here today, and we had to have a prayer. Honestly, you guys, we feel like we're in the fight of our lives. And if you've been watching, you know we are. It's the fight of our lives.
Absolutely.
So am I getting ahead? I don't know.
No, we're right on. So that was yesterday. I'll just make this summary statement. Folks, they showed who they are.
It's who they are.
The Daystar Mafia showed who they are, and then also they thought that they could manipulate. See, Daystar doesn't own this. That might be news to them, but this is this is the NRB, but they thought that they could exact their will through NRB security, but they lost. So today, you guys have prayer. I was off doing other stuff, but you guys had prayer. Maybe what kind of prayer did you pray?
And I'll just reiterate a very good point that you just made. The Daystar people, they have lied today. They said we were taking video of them. Neither of us were. I said, hello, you know, are we? Oh, yeah, on the way. I'm not going to get ahead.
Right.
But they did show who they were. They got to go to security and start setting their agenda to make it look like we're the bad guys. And we're not. Hey, man, we're truth tellers. Everyone's allowed in Texas.
And I want to interject. I want to interject about Shannon. I want to call him the insecure security because you're supposed to be securing them, and you had to go get security to secure you. You are useless.
Terrible security guy. I mean, we didn't know in between the first meeting and the second that they had contacted security. Security had been notified. So the moment I say to Rachel, thank you for approaching me, I'd be happy to talk to you, security, you know, like this is what happened, like thugs, you know. All right.
So on the way up here today,
we prayed, you know, Unction and I, and Jonathan, we prayed in the car, and we committed it to the Lord because we said, God, we're just here to honor you. If there's any kind of issue, you help us, Lord. You show us what to do, get us through it. But
Yes.
we're not planning on anything because we don't have any evil intentions at all.
No.
Right.
So we came in, cameras down. We're not going to create a problem. We do happen to see Deacon Ballcap.
Shannon in the hall.
You gotta show honor to the deacons.
Yeah, you
Yes.
do. Like, Deacon. And the Deacon's shown himself to be not a very good Christian, saying he didn't like me on national, internet, going to the world, calling me names, clickbait cockroach. So Deacon Ballcap, I didn't even really see him at first, but Jonathan did. So Jonathan went up, said hello, shake hands, they're off. I look back, I go, oh, I said, it's clickbait. Hi, it's clickbait. Clickbait cockroach, how are you doing? That's it. And then I did it. He was Deacon Ballcap's on the phone.
On the phone.
Yeah. I walk off. We walk off.
Yep.
And 20 minutes later, we are being escorted out. And we're losing our privileges. So I guess I wasn't allowed to say hello.
I said
I
hello.
did it with a smile.
I said hello, Deacon ball cap, tail red wig. I said what's up. She made me famous. It went on in the room. I don't know how that's harassment, but okay.
Totally friendly, no cameras.
But
I wish we had cameras because then we could prove what just
Right.
happened.
But this
But
guy, this Deacon Ballcap, is so thin-skinned,
Steve
Yeah.
Wilhite.
so fearfully effeminate or whatever that sends him over the edge.
Right.
Mommy, call security. That's what really happened.
Runs to security. Thin-skinned,
Yeah.
very weak group of people. Very weak group of people.
He's really tough though. He's tough when he's on camera,
On camera.
at Daystar,
Yeah.
calling us names. Then he's real tough. But don't you dare say hello to him. You're gonna get kicked out. They lied. They lied today.
Yep.
They lied to get us kicked out of the NRB. So I asked to speak to Troy Miller. They refused to call him. I said, listen, we didn't do what you're saying. And they said, we're going to call the police. I said, yeah, what are you going to tell the police? Oh, they were causing trouble. We're going to say, no, we weren't. So in the end, you left. And I just stood my ground. And I said, we have not done what you're saying. We did not harass. We did not use cameras. And it's a fact. Jonathan was there. Jonathan is quite incensed right now.
Yep.
So he's, talking to people.
We
We
made
didn't
our
do it.
we
We
made
didn't
our
do it.
greeting and kept going, and it turned into this.
This is like the Daystar Mafia, so intimidated they got to go and tell security. Do you know, if anyone called us names, like I didn't go calling the security because he called me clickbait cockroach, and said he didn't like me. I don't like that. Laura-Lynn, Tyler Thompson, Deacon Ballcap, like all of a sudden, like you're real tough in one situation, but in this situation, thin-skinned.
But maybe Deacon Ballcap is under a lot of pressure and needs our concern because I think the number is 19. Am I right?
Oh, that have left.
Because
yes.
I believe that Ray Comfort's program was number
And
18.
the next one.
And then
I just talked to someone else just in this last half hour here, and she said there's a 20th, and that we might have even missed that he left quietly.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I'm going to be checking into
But
that.
do you remember the name of 19?
19, was that yesterday's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Chow Trapper.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll get it. I know it's on my ex. You talk and I'll get it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But 19's a big number in a lineup. I'm sorry. That's a lot. That's a lot of contracts and negotiating that Ballcap's got to do to cover the deficit, right?
Absolutely.
And there's more coming because I was talking to another programmer and they're like, everybody's behind the scenes. They're like, oh no, what do we do? We're not feeling comfortable with, what's happening. Daystar covering it all up. We're not feeling comfortable with this, what's going on. And they're going to leave too. So there's an avalanche. And then Deacon Ballcap, did you see his text the other day or his X post?
Yeah.
How wonderfully Daystar is being run by Joni Lamb.
See, I wonder this: if the thought process was, we have to cover up this essay, we have to cover up this alleged pedophilia for the sake of Daystar, it might be just the opposite. Maybe you better hurry up and come clean about these things if you expect there to be a Daystar in the future, period, at all.
Yeah.
Be for real.
The rats are jumping the ship, or maybe that's not the right way to say it, but they're all getting off. This boat is going down. Everybody's getting in their lifeboats and rowing away from Daystar. So, you know, all of this is about the truth. All of this is because we stand for the church not covering SAs.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all.
And Baby Lamb has become the symbol of what the church has tried to do. Now, if I were a CEO of any company and I ask you guys, if there's a problem with an employee, would you be making sure that that employee is greeting everyone as they come through the door? Would you say, we got to clear this up?
Exactly.
Absolutely. It's time to clear things up. If I was a corporation and there was this employee that, once again, the people are greeting us here, they love us. But if I had an employee being accused of something crazy like that, no, you will not be associated with this corporation. You need to get that right, clear that up, and then we can continue on if you are exonerated.
Absolutely. So what happened, I was escorted out by a Gaylord security, nicest man. All the way out, I let him know as I was greeted by people thanking me for my work. I mean, he must have begun wondering, okay, what's going on? All these people, because we've had nothing but love here. The NRB knows what's going on with Daystar, and they are choosing sides, and they might be all friendly or whatever, but people do not stand for alleged pedophiles to not be brought to justice when there's a cry for justice. So I'm being walked out. People are saying hi. I told the security guard everything that is going on. He let me know he's a retired police officer, and he goes, well, the cops are coming, so you need to talk to the police, and they're going to give some kind of protective order or something. I said, oh, okay. For what? We didn't do nothing. So I'm walked out, forced in the lobby, and these two security guards, like one of them, I think his name is Scott, he is mean and unwise. He is just such a bad idea for a security guard, right, because he's got no discernment.
No good sense.
If you are given and entrusted with security, you gotta really get it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain to them that you got duped today. You got duped by the wrong side.
Yep.
The Daystar Mafia pulled their cards, their big money cards, and you gotta get them out there. They're talking to us. Ooh, they're talking to. They said hi.
Fragile.
You know, get them out. Fragile. So now I'm escorted out, forced to give over my badge. Now the police show up. Nicest security guard of the Gaylord. I explained to him the whole thing, that there's an alleged pedophile at Daystar. The Daystar people called us in, and he's like, he couldn't say it. You know what I'm saying? He needed to maintain his position.
Right.
But he's like, oh my Lord. Like, you can see it in his eyes. By the time the police get here, I explained to the police, this is about the Daystar issue. I'm a reporter. I'm covering this. The podcasters are here. We did nothing. I said, look through both my phones. Go ahead. I don't have no pictures and no video because nothing happened. Nothing happened. We didn't do anything. And so the police are like, they're looking at me, nicest guys, constables, nice eyes, fathers, you know, and I'm explaining to them that Daystar has an alleged predator, pedophile, hosting their shows.
Thompson. The client, the NRB, disruptive. We knew about some Daystar. You know where Daystar is over there in Bedford. Some employees may be causing some issues today. We had an issue with this young lady inside the ballroom. The security team for NRB requested her the conference. Since she was disruptive, I'm wanting her off the Gaylord property.
I wasn't disruptive at all.
Okay. Well, all right.
You didn't see nothing. I'm just saying.
I
right?
heard some things.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short.
I just want to hear his testimony because
And
just tell what you actually know.
So she's free to come back in a year.
We had a good talk, Steve. You know, I've explained to you the least you could do is make this a little bit more real. Nothing happened today. He didn't see anything. No one saw anything because we didn't disrupt nobody. This is about the Daystar sexual assault case and the Daystar people. I'm sure you've heard of it. Perhaps.
Okay.
There's a 5-year-old that was sexually assaulted by the husband of the girl that's here. She approached me yesterday.
Okay.
I didn't call the police. I just said, you know, I'd be glad to talk to you. Come on my show. You know, do whatever you'd like. You know, we can work it out. That's all. Today, absolutely no harassment, no cameras. You can look at both of my phones. No pictures, nothing. Then they've gone to the security and had me removed. This is like the $1 billion, and I'll leave happily.
Well, that's all that they want.
Yeah, I will. I'll
And I
leave happily.
explained to her how to approach the issue with the Colville incident and stuff of that nature. Because, you know, and I explained to her, get involved when you're an outsider, not part of the family, it can cause issues civilly and all these other things.
I'm here to support Jonathan. He lost his job. He's kicked out of the $1 billion organization because his daughter was S8 and he's refusing to cover it up. I walked around with him peacefully, quietly, no cameras today, none. And the reason cameras went on yesterday was because Rachel approached me.
So let me just kind of explain. We're not disputing any of that.
Okay.
We're not disputing anything that you've said. What we're here for is it's private property's prerogative to have you removed.
I know.
Okay, that's where we're at. That's
I'm
really all it
leaving.
boils down to. Okay.
It's so crazy. They're liars, snakes, and scorpions at Daystar. That's the reality.
Not
Today they
disputing
have
any of
lied.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've lied today, and now I'm leaving. And you know, I have tried to explain to Steve Carell here, but anyways,
Cancel.
from the office, I know.
All right.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm going.
Do you have a ride out of here?
Well, my ride is in there. I mean, I'll text them and see where they're at, and they'll probably not want to be here.
Y'all's thing. I mean, do you want to let her stick around until she can get a ride? Or
I just want a coffee.
You want to just
Can I not have
get
a
off the
coffee?
property? How do you-
If I let her go back in and she goes back in there,
I
me and
won't.
not around.
I give you my word. I'm a Christian woman.
Okay,
This
so
is
am I.
why I'm in sir. This is why I'm in so much trouble because I am exposing sexual assault in big ministry, and they lied about me today and got me kicked out.
Okay.
Again,
I
we're
just
not
want-
disputing any of that. This
I
is
know
just
you are.
private property prerogative to have you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a business transaction. We couldn't care less one way or the other. We're
Yeah.
just here at their request.
I'm not here to cause trouble. I didn't cause trouble today.
So-
I'm happy to have a coffee, and I will not do
Well,
anything other than that, Steve.
Here's the problem. If I let you back in there once I tell you got to leave,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm misstepping what my prerogatives are.
Well,
Can I
who's
do
your
something?
boss? Are you the boss?
I'm
Or-
one of the bosses.
Yeah, yeah. And you think then it's going to escalate, and you'll look like you compromised. The great compromisers. All right.
Hello, Dan.
I got an idea. I
Greg
just,
was talking to
I'd
her
like
right
to wait
now.
for my friends.
She
I could
wants
use
to
a
remain
coffee.
here
Maybe you
so
could bring me
why
one. I'll just sit here and
is
wait.
in the conference.
Like, why should everyone else have
She
to
wants-
leave? I'm here with a whole group of people.
Well, I mean, if you want it, we can give you a ride somewhere and you go wait.
Okay, that's
at
kinda
a
what-
Oh, really?
Starbucks or whatever.
You would?
As long as she
Yeah,
doesn't
I
go
would
back
love
in
that.
there, we're good.
Okay.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So she's going to take a ride with us, Steve.
Okay. All right.
All right. So
All
we
right.
have to just clear your bag, make sure there's no weapons in
Oh,
there.
okay. All right. Well, I didn't bring my hairspray, but
Okay.
I do have a camera
She's
thing.
going to ride with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, you're going to ride
No,
with them?
what?
Is that-
Did you
okay.
get permission? If you got permission.
I got permission to let you sit down in the lounge and drink your coffee, but not go anywhere near the conference.
Yeah.
Okay?
I am not the problem. The pedophiles
Okay,
are the problem.
He
Here's
needs
my
you
words.
to.
If you step foot anywhere near NRB, then you're subject
Yeah,
to
you got no
further
worries.
sanctions.
I am not a rebel. I've told nothing but the truth today, and those guys have lied to all you all and made this. But you know what? I'm done. I got the Dallas police the Dallas reporter that just contacted me because he's already heard, not even from me. So this is gonna go. So sad. It's gonna make you guys look bad too, because the story is, you know why that lady stopped me in the hallway?
Well, it's not Gaylord's problem.
No.
Until now.
It's NRB, right?
It's
But I'm
all
saying,
NRB.
you know what? It would look good on you to let me have a coffee, because
I
you
just
know how
told you
people
what I
are
said.
stopping me. Like I went to the bathroom. Do you know why people are stopping me? Because this whole place is watching what I'm doing. We don't stand for sexual cover-up of pedophilic behavior.
And I told you how to handle that too.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Are you willing to let me have a coffee? Would that be the best idea?
As long as you sit down in that lounge and don't go anywhere near that car.
All right. Is that good for y'all?
We don't care. We need to call Jonathan and have him come to you.
Okay.
And you can have your coffee, but you're not going to camp out in the hotel.
All right.
All right?
I'll have a coffee. Thank you, Gaylord.
Okay. Come on.
Bless your hearts.
Thank
you, sir. Yep. Thank you.
And they said, yeah, we got no issue with all of this. And they looked at the security guard and I said, you know, I'm waiting for my ride. I'm with Jonathan today and waiting for my ride. Can I just, grab a drink? And everyone was just like, the police were like, that would make sense. She's just going to sit there. I gave them my word. I'm not going to go back in. I'm not going to go say hi to anyone. Now, Deacon Ballcap went walking right past us, and I have to admit, I was like, hey, I'm clickbait again. How are you doing? That's it.
But
I'm surprised I'm still here.
But coincidentally, he comes walking past us. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I had a thought that I'd like to just express. You, Laura-Lynn, you said that the security should not be tricked or get it wrong. If I could say respectfully, evidently, the Daystar Mafia thinks they own NRB. I am not sure that every member of NRB is actually okay with SA, with pedophilia, or even the suspicion.
Exactly.
So maybe what needs to happen is just a thought. Maybe the people that they're meant, because there's a whole lot of ministries represented here. Maybe some of the ones that are here for the right reasons should say, you know what, we as an association just need to say to Daystar, come clean. Order a third-party investigation, because we do not want our values and our reputation to be tainted by what Daystar, who seems to think they represent everybody, to be tainted by what Daystar is doing.
You know, the alleged predator is here today, and he's walking around.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Bad PR decision. Not smart.
All the people that are loving on us, even as I'm being escorted out of the building, Laura-Lynn, woo, they're like, he's here. She's getting escorted out. What are you all doing? And I agree with you, Everett. Like,
who are you welcoming and who are you expelling? Yeah. Wow.
There was one lady, she's a producer here. I'm not going to put anyone's name out, but the lady talked about how Pete came by her and wanted to shake her hand, and she was just like, we'll do one of them. They're creeped out by this guy, and for some reason, Daystar thinks it's a good idea to parade that around.
Yeah.
Somebody is not advising them very well.
Who's running the show? Now Joni says she's not the voice of God in Daystar. She had to admit it. Fine, she didn't admit that in front of Jimmy Evans, but she was able to say that I'm not the voice of God. I'm just wondering, who's listening to the voice of God in Daystar?
There's the gentleman right there.
Before
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hey guys. So here's Troy Miller, and nicest guy. See if I can get him in the background. I mean, I just really like this fellow. He's a good man. There he is.
Mr. Troy Miller, very good brother. Let us back into the NRB. We appreciate him.
Thank you.
But then we got lied about, Then we got, I'll let you set that back up.
Yeah.
And I don't got nothing. I mean, we had a prayer with the man. He said, he said, emotions can be high, and we're like, yeah, they sure can. Our emotions ain't high. We're good. But Shannon Kelly, now that guy's off the charts.
The insecure security.
Yeah. If he wants to try to put it all on at first, he does it. He's just a showman. Second time around, he's like, we're not doing this here. We're not. I mean, it was like some kind of spirit.
Can I share one thing that I didn't share? I did greet Mr. Kelly with, hey, how's the tracker business going? How's the tracking going?
Yeah.
But I did have to say, I said, where's the bulletproof vest and the gun? And he, with a lot of bravado, that's just standard issue, standard equipment. Come and I'll show you. And I said, well, then how come Joni lies about it and says she doesn't know anything? If this is such universal knowledge, why don't Joni know about it? I just wanted to throw that out there.
Let's just tell everyone what happened. Shannon Kelly, he shows up at Jonathan's to deliver Jonathan's, basically, you're not in the company anymore because you're telling the truth and we don't like it. So Shannon Kelly, he's got his gun on.
Yeah.
Joni's like, I don't know anything about this. She says this, we have that on camera. So is Shannon just showing up in his own, is it make believe? Is it his, he's packing for the day?
Right.
Right? So he shows up to do his work.
Packer.
Like, does Joni know he did that? Because she thinks that nobody showed up with a gun to deliver Jonathan, that he's not welcome at Daystar because he's going to stand for baby lamb. Y'all got the wrong end of this stick.
Yep.
And it's so disgusting. And by the way, when this gets out to all the people, it's just going to be worse.
Yes,
but
it is.
I'm going to say, I don't blame Troy Miller. I thought he tried to handle us nicely. We're not mad at the NRB, but your security guys, no discernment.
No discernment.
Maybe they should have been briefed, but no discernment.
Daystar is I didn't even know anything about NRB. This is my first time. Hey, wonderful. Probably my last time. Daystar is not giving NRB a very good image from the seat that I'm sitting in. I don't think they reflect well on, and some of these struggling radio stations and people that just work for half of what they could, but they're doing it for the right reasons. I wonder if some of these station managers and other people that work, I wonder if they really appreciate what Daystar is doing, the Daystar Mafia is doing to the image of the ministry and the industry in a good way that they represent. I wouldn't appreciate it.
No.
This is the year of God's exposure of sexual sin. It disgusts him.
Yes.
He's angry at all SAs, whether you're adult, you're young. I got 5 women ready to talk to me regarding a pastor in the Dallas area who SAs women as he prays for them.
Insane.
It's coming. It's coming. And if it's you, you better watch out.
Oh, yeah.
Because people know they have a voice now. See, that's what we're doing. And do you know who understood that today? The security guard. He didn't say so. I saw it in his eyes. The police officers, they were like, yeah. Daystar, you just look worse. You just look worse. And now we are going to have to tell this story to a much larger audience.
And I want to add this. What is so perplexing for me is to know how Daystar has bullied people. To know how they have treated ex-employees.
Yes.
To know how they have mocked people.
There.
Yes.
Knowing they have mocked people at their jobs, mocked people at their place of employment, trying to take care of themselves after they have been done with Daystar. The way that Daystar has done folk, but you can't take a greeting in the hallway, y'all some real hypocritical punks. You're punkish, you're hypocritical, and you cannot take what you dish. But you gonna get it. You gonna get this work from me.
They're real tough in the building. Behind the camera. But you're just like jellyfish when you get into real life. And you know what? God is calling us to real life. We don't stand for the cover-up of pedophiles. We don't stand for predators being allowed to parade. We're done. We're done. We've harmed too many kids, too many children, too much of this going around, and we're here to stand. But all in all, though, I have to say, like, I enjoyed meeting the police. It was fun to get walked out. The guy was so nice, you know, and it was a blessing. By the end of it, when I explained the whole story to him about Daystar, he's like, oh, okay, wow,
Right.
you know. So we're gonna have to tell the story louder and louder and louder, and we didn't want to, but this hasn't been easy. And I've been coming to NRB for years. This is your first time. I'm so sorry that you got this impression. They are good people. A lot of these people, they just love the Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
But we got some snakes and vipers, as Jesus talked about.
Oh, yeah. But
All right.
I tell you what, all in all, I've had a nice 2 days. It's just the sensitivity
beautiful
of
here.
Daystar. When you see it's sunny, it's cloudy, it's sunny, we get shade, so it's been
It
nice.
has been really nice. It has. So that's our story, guys, and we love y'all because our fans greeted us.
Yes, they
and
did.
they loved us.
Yes.
They thought you were just the bomb,
Right.
you know? Even if some of them thought you were Pastor Rock.
What tripped me out was meeting people in the industry
Yeah.
working for billion-dollar corporations telling us they're listening to our voices. I mean, I understand the great Laura-Lynn.
No,
But I don't understand me. I'm some guy down there in the corner.
Yeah. And people were hugging you, telling you that they're watching basically the three of us every day. They're just lapping it up. They love you, Everett. They love you, Pastor Ray. They love me, apparently. And, you know, we're not going to stop. Like, there's not much. I mean, going to jail, that would be even better. Like, it'd be such a big story, you know? Like, suing us.
We came real close.
I know. We got some people that are like, all right, if this is going down, we're with ya, you know? So you wanna make this look better and be all this kind of nonsense? Wow. I don't know what to do, except we're with God. God's with us. I'm God's girl. This is God's boy and God's boy, and we're going to do God's work. That's it. Are we good?
We're good.
Yeah. We love you. All the podcasters say bye-bye and good night. We love you.
You know, it's not easy to deliver the truth of what our sick world is doing, but for some of us, we feel that we have no choice. Because if we are silent about these abominable things, then we are letting evil go unchecked, and we cannot do that. For those of you wonderful people who are writing me and are sharing your encouragement, I am deeply grateful. Thank you for all the letters that you've been sending. Thank you for the donations and the support. I found out that in order to speak the truth, you have to become very, very strong. If you would go to my website at www.lauralynn.tv, you'll find all of the ways that you can contact me. Remember, my friends, all is well. All is well. Thanks for joining me.